Okay, GridMap Maker, Devlog number 1. So today was just the initial phase of our devlog, and we are testing out our simple hex shapes. Thus far, we've made it very simple code. We have our fused mesh class, which we imported from our test this was case Malachite, which is our test case. So we just in this project we're doing a bit of conceptualization, just to see everything, just to see what problems we might encounter along the way. And anyways, so this is the real deal over here, the grid map maker we're making. So we imported over our fused mesh class, which is actually quite good, and we created some we created this abstract class. This way, we can then create our own custom shapes. So from the abstract class called grid shape, we then created a hexagonal shape that inherited from that grid shape. These are the typical values we have over here. Blah blah blah. Base, vertex, triangles, UVs, and whatnot. And over here, this is gonna be we're gonna work on this rectangular shape next. So thus far, just to make sure that our hexagonal shape worked, we created a simple script. This is a simple hex chunk, and all it does is just it uses our fuse mesh class, as I've shown you before. We add the mesh of the hex, which is of the hex shape, and we combine them into one huge mesh. And then when we click draw mesh, we just draw the mesh. We add the mesh into a mesh filter and just draw. So it's very simple. Here's the grid manager. All it does really is it just creates. We have a grid size. We have a hex shape that we will modify in the editor, and we have a hex chunk. That hex shape takes in two values, height and width. This is actually a huge a different. We actually changed this because prior to this we had used radiuses, but the thing, but the problem with the radius is that it's very it doesn't give you a lot of what do you call it of choices. So essentially it keeps your shape to be uniform, right? So if you want irregular hexes like this, for example, that will not be possible with a radius, right? If you look at, like, for example, this on the right over here, this is what a normal hex would look like. But on the left, you can create our by using a width and a height, we can create irregular shapes for our hexes. You see more of that when I show the code. When I show you the code in Unity. So anyways, so here's where we are right now. So you have the simple generate grid. It just simply generates the grid, creates a random color for the hex. Then we have this simple extension method that just sets the color for the hex, and then we add the hex and we draw the mesh. Let's actually remove this code right. That way we don't draw it multiple times. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's run this, and then we'll see how it works. I'll show you. So let's save this real quick. And yeah. So here's our hex shape. As you can see, we can then modify the width to essentially just work however we want it to work, right? So let's see how we can create like irregular hex shapes. Now, of course, in real life, you won't, in the practical sense, you will not be using such weird shapes. But if you wanted to, you could do that, right? And as you can see, our fuse mesh class is actually extremely fast, right? And so yeah, we can actually make this bigger. So let's say if we can do like 20 by 20, for example. Can we even make? Yeah, we can pull it off 20 by 20. Look at that, we already found some bugs in our code. That's nice. But let's see if this how effective this is. So it's pretty effective. It's pretty fast. So this is pretty much 400 hexes right here, right? That we're able to make thus far. So, and the reason, one thing this is actually good was because this shows us that a user will be able to make changes. Will be able to make changes on the fly, right? So instead of having to, like, set the size and then run the game, yada yada yada, then it's all slow and everything. Nope, you can just do it. You can just do it instantly. Boom, right? Instantly. We can't see the FPS now, but hopefully, this is just a simple a simple concept that we're showing here. That's about it I have for you guys now, and yeah, see you next time.